Good evening to you, Pearson, and good evening to our viewers. In terms of those reports, we will go straight to the Minister, Wilfred Abrams, Minister of Home Affairs, who has been in the National EOC, and he will give us an update as to what is happening on island. Minister Abrams, what are we looking at? Damage? What's the situation?
Wendy, good afternoon, Barbados. Good night, Barbados. Early this morning, the decision was taken to let the school children go home early. That decision was taken because the system, Bret, was very unpredictable in what it was doing. The winds, the sustained winds, and the gusts were hovering in the vicinity of storm force, but not sustained enough that we could issue a warning. So although we were under a watch, and we were occasionally getting storm force or close to storm force winds, there was nothing sustained to trigger a warning. The decision was taken based on the unpredictability of the system and the fact that we wanted to ensure that at least we got the school children taken care of and out of the transportation system. So in the event that we had to go to warning urgently, we were able to do that without having to accommodate the school children. We took the decision to close schools early. That proved to be the right decision, because even when we, as a matter of precaution, decided to allow the public service to finish work at 2:30 today, and a number of other businesses had preempted that and had closed of their own accord because they were monitoring the system. Immediately after Prime Minister Santia Bradshaw, acting Prime Minister Santia Bradshaw, had made her statement, we got the call from Sabu that the system had again done something unpredictable, and the center had reformed a lot further south, thus bringing the storm force winds a lot closer to the north of Barbados than they previously were. That then triggered the warning, and this has gotten us to where we are now. So we were luckily proceeding and taking the precautions as if a warning was going to be issued. So when the warning did in fact come at short notice, the preparations were well underway and certain things were triggered. Right now we're in the National Emergency Operations Center, and we stood that up from the time it was a storm watch. So we're here in the middle of the warning. All of the relevant stakeholders, the police, the BDF, utility companies, water, ambulance, fire, the press, all are here to keep you informed as things develop. Also, the reason we have those persons here with us is in the event that a decision has to be made in relation to one of the services that is represented, that decision can be made from here without having to consult with anybody else. Where we know. Right now, we've already had numerous reports of fallen trees. We've had utility poles down, reported damage to seven reports of damage to a house. A roof has been blown off, a tree fell on a house and crushed the house, and we also had a partial house collapse. Now, that was before we even triggered the warning. The winds, we just went through a bit of a lull, so those who might have been outside would be seeing a lull. The winds have started to pick back up now, so we're experiencing gusts of in excess of 35 miles an hour, but sustained winds in the 25 to 30 bracket. So we can expect more of what we've seen before. We can expect a bit more damage. We can expect that weak trees are going to fall, and we can expect some more down power lines. So we are now under a storm warning. That means that Barbadians are supposed to stay off the road until the all clear is given. Only emergency vehicles and emergency services are supposed to be on the road at this point in time. What does that mean if we get reports now of, for example, a power outage? If Light and Power can effectively and efficiently repair that outage, now that decision is going to be taken here, and crews are going to be dispatched. If they can do so safely, they will do so. If they cannot, they will return to do it once the all clear is given. But with the exception of emergency services, all Barbadians are supposed to be off the road and remain off the road until the all clear has been given. So I'm going to turn over now to Kerry, who can update you a bit more from the DM perspective. Thank you.
Okay, we're turning over now to Carrie Hines, who is the Director of the Department of Emergency Management. Perhaps you can give us some word on what's happening at the centers. Has anybody reported as yet that they want to go into a shelter, etc.?
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. We had our last briefing, major briefing at 5:40 this afternoon. And at that point in time, we had 27 of our shelters open, Category 1 shelters open to the public, and 16 persons are scattered across those shelters.
Okay, so that's just 16 for now. Have you been able to know the state of them? What's in terms of the demographic? Are we looking at children? Are we looking at the elderly? Are any disabled among them? Because I do realize that some of your shelters are designated disability access.
We don't have that information at this point in time when we had the briefing, but we can get that information for you.
Okay. Now, Minister, you were talking about the downlines. I understand St. Lucie had a bit of a power outage, and the Army was there. I understand it's been restored, but they have St. Lucie being closely monitored because that's the area we expect most of the damage, if any, should come.
Yes, as I said, while it is still safe to do so, or where possible, the emergency services will respond to correct whatever the problem is. But there will come a point in time when, quite frankly, it will be unsafe to send light and power or to ask them to go to deal with things. But we're keeping a close eye on the whole of Barbados. Look, the decisions that were taken today were taken because the safety of Barbadians is paramount for us. We triggered certain activities before even the warning was given because we took a decision to not risk the lives or safety of Barbadians and definitely not our school children. You are important to us. Your safety is important to us. In one briefing just now, we were warned that even after the waves subside a little bit, we'll be subject to riptides tomorrow. And I was asked, please, to just advise people tomorrow when things clear up, please be very careful in going to the sea. Just pay attention to the bulletins that we're putting out. We have been very communicative. Barbadians have been advised and involved at every step of this process. From the time the name Bret was mentioned, Barbadians have been informed, and we've kept you informed. We will continue to do so. Please monitor the information coming from DEM, GIS, and the Met Services, and please obey and adhere to any advisories that are circulated. They're not done because we want to control you. They're done because we are concerned for your safety. If one person is injured, that is one too many.
Okay, we want to thank you so much for that information and that update. We are here at the DEM. We've just spoken with the Minister of Home Affairs, Wilfred Abrams, and the Director of the DEM, Carrie Hines. Pearson, it's back to you.